So we are Stormageddon, and Snoogan's about to start our tournament of sevens. So for the first game, we have got Bath playing up against SWAT. SWAT will be in the green and Bath are in the blue.
Yes, good morning, folks, or good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you're watching today. So we are straight into the action here, hosted by Severn Roller Torrent, and as you can see, we do have lead jammer picked up by SWAT in the green. That is number 1337. That's going to be // as your lead jammer in this inaugural jam. Number 77 for Bath. Ginger Witch still trying to get their way through the pack. Some really good defense going on from SWAT, and we've had ourselves a star pass on.
Yeah, so that star has been passed over to J for Jetta. Just denied on the inside line there, and a recycle back by Sandy Surfwax.
That was a really nice hip check. I feel like we're probably going to see some of this action a lot today, but that was almost sort of textbook.
Yes.
Really clean derby stop, good toe stop action, nice and inbounds, and we've still got that pivot trying to get through, resetting themselves. Meanwhile, // is lapping up those points.
Quite literally at this stage.
There's something here about cats getting cream.
Oh, narrowly staying in on the inside line there for another 4 points picked up for SWAT. Meanwhile, J for Jetta still fighting against that ruthless wall of SWAT blockers.
Got to give props to 195, excuse me, Lily La Vida Loca, doing some brilliant offensive work trying to get her blocker out through a massive hit and cleared most of SWAT's wall on the previous pass. Wasn't quite enough to do the job, but just chef kiss. That jam running for the full 2 minutes, and that was a high-scoring jam for SWAT.
33-point jam. Good start.
Unanswered points as well. No initial pass for Bath.
So taking the jam line for Bath is Limp Fisket. And they are going up against Babs for SWAT.
Both jammers getting straight into the pack. We are starting with a pack advantage for SWAT. Blocker in the box for Bath from the previous jam. Babs picking up lead.
Limp making some headway up at the front, forces the no pack and is out for Bath.
Yeah, Babs taking direction there from her bench, hitting it, quitting it. Great work from Limp there, forcing that call. Really great start to this mini sevens tournament.
Yeah.
It's not the traditional format as you may be familiar with if you're watching at home. So this is a round robin tournament. We've got 4 teams playing today. We'll talk to you a little bit more as we get through this about how we're playing through. Jesbian with a nice big recycle on number 77. Ginger Witch back up to jam for Bath.
Ginger Witch up in front takes the first lead of the game for Bath, but they are not alone, taking a big hit down there from Bolt.
I love offensive jamming.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing to see.
And you don't see it that often because normally the focus is kind of on getting through. I don't care what you're doing, but obviously it's been effective in slowing down Ginger Witch in this jam. Yeah,
they're still looking to, as I say it, they will recycle back. They're still on their first scoring pass. Have managed to obtain 3 points, and that's going to be the first points on the board for Bath. Taking that score.
So it's sees 39 to SWAT to 3 points to Bath at this stage of the game, very early on still. And we've got Limp Fistit is back up to Jam, and they are taking on 73 Escape Agent. So SWAT seems to be kind of changing their skaters round with who's Jam. Everyone's getting a go in SWAT, or at least that's how it seems.
Yeah, absolutely, and it may well be that they've just got a really broad spectrum of skills and abilities. So
that looks like SWAT is having a sit down in the penalty box for a back block penalty, which opened up lead available for Limp Fistit, who seemed to get out of the pack pretty much neck on neck with SWAT. So this is exactly the opportunity that Bath needs to pick up some points and make up for lost time made in that early stage in the game. Calling it off to start with a power jam start, locking in Escape Agent in the penalty box along with Jesbian.
Yeah, so absolutely spot on, exactly where Bath want to be going into this next jam. As you've said, freezing both the jammer and the blocker into the penalty box. So starting not only with that power jam for Ginger Witch now, but on a pack advantage as well. All of the good things.
All of the good things, as long as you're in Bath.
Yes,
and not in SWAT.
Good news, everyone.
Okay, so the jammer's now coming out of the penalty box along with Jesbian to provide some offense, but Ginger Witch has made it out as lead jammer.
Yeah, Ginger Witch with some really nice footwork around on the inside line, sort of up on the toe stops, just shuffle, around the hips of those blockers.
Really good tactical work there by Ginger Witch. Picks up the 2 points, sees the opposing jammer coming up and calls it off, denying any points to be picked up by SWAT.
So in those 2 jams, that's 5 unanswered points for Bath, and that is going to be music to their ears.
Absolutely. Another first-time jammer for SWAT, who is Elsie Emasculator, taking on Limp Fistit. Some big hits onto both jammers, seeing them taken down, but they're wasting no time getting straight back up. Both jammers reaching the front of the pack now, but that is a big recycle back for Limp Fistit.
Penalty issue to blocker for SWAT means that pack advantage is back with Bath, and Limp is through as your lead jammer, but closely followed by Elsie. Just had a brief Mighty Boosh moment. Those of you who know what I'm talking about will know I'm not going to quote it, it's just creepy. Points all round.
Yeah, another first-time jammer for SWAT, Sandy Surfwax. They are literally just letting everyone have a turn. They are an equality team. And no one on SWAT has jammed more than once yet.
I mean, speaking from your perspective as a lineup manager, this has got to be like a dream, or sort of like from bench perspective, this has got to be a dream come true.
Well,
Who wants to jam?
when everyone's keen, yeah, that never happens. So Sandy Surfwax picks up lead jam for SWAT. Both jammers now approaching for a scoring pass. Sandy Surfwax has got their 4 points as Ginger Witch comes through.
Sandy calls it, but not before Ginger picks up 1 point. So we are down to 12 minutes remaining on the clock. Scores in the doors, 15 points to Bath, 47 to SWAT.
Jesbian up to jam for SWAT, taking on Limp Fistit. I don't think I'm ever going to pronounce Limp Fistit right. You know who I mean.
An effort was made.
You know who I mean.
A little hop, skip and a jump from Limp there, but does get taken off to the inside and recycled. Meanwhile, Jesbian is through as your lead jammer. And if you're thinking, Chesby. I'm sure I recognise them from somewhere else. Yes, they are also a commentator of this wonderful sport, and yes, they have commentated live on the BBC.
A celebrity up to jam.
I know them.
Chesby picking up 3 points before calling off the jam, denying any points to Bath.
So that's going to bring SWAT up to around 50. Both teams with blockers in the box. Pack advantage still with Bath though, 3 blockers to 2.
Dot slash up to jam for the second time today, up against Ginger Witch. And Dot slash picks up lead. Dot slash quite tactical there, like communicating with the penalty box to see how long they have before their blockers are released. Presumably trying to put them in a stronger position going into the next jam.
Yeah, it's always great to see skaters thinking like that extra layer of sort of tactical.
Absolutely, because I mean it's great to get the points and then call it off, but if you've got the points with all your blockers in the penalty box, then your next jam's not going to go too cricket.
Exactly. It's all well and good thinking what's good for me.
Yeah.
But what about the next lineup? Big wipe out there on the pivot line. Gives plenty of space for Babs to get through and pick up lead jammer for SWAT. Penalty box is now empty. Everybody's back on track.
A big hit out on the inside line there by 195 Lily La Vida Loca.
Three points for Babs as she calls off the jam. Dot slash going to take a seat in the penalty box for SWAT, donning that pivot stripe. Just over 9 minutes remaining, 15 points unmoved for Bath for a couple of jams, 57 now for SWAT.
Bolt up to jam, up against Ginger Witch. Bolt up at the front, takes that outside line and is the lead jammer. Meanwhile, Ginger Witch with a big hit on the inside line is going all the way back with a bit of cheeky offence there from J for Jandetta.
I was certain that Ginger Witch was going to get shut down on that outside line, but there was nary a blocker to be seen.
No.
That door was left wide open. My mum would have gone mad letting the heat out like that.
We were raised in a barn.
Right? Takes up to 61 points. And 8 minutes remaining. So if you're not familiar with Sevens format, I'll tell you a little bit about that after this particular jam.
Meanwhile, we've got a skate agent and a Limp Bizkit up to jam. Limp Bizkit seems to bounce against Bolt at the back of the pack, looking to do the star pass as a skate agent has got lead jammer. The star has been passed successfully. Oh, no, I tell a lie. I'm sorry to do that to you. Limp Bizkit still got it in hand.
There you go.
And that's a very sneaky star pass there over to Steffrajet. Meanwhile, a skate agent just racking up those points for SWAT as the lead jammer.
Bolt with another recycle.
That's another 4 points for SWAT. The Steffrajet just fighting against that wall at the back. Really strong defensive work there by the SWAT blockers. Making them lose their balance on the outside line and allowing the recycle.
That pack is long.
Meanwhile, Limp Bizkit up at the front, trying to slow down the skate agent, but the skate agent just seems to be brushing off those hits.
SWAT have got an absolutely beautiful 3-wall going on, a tripod if you will, and it's absolutely just shut down that jammer. Just it's suffragette. Just I don't mean this in a really negative way. It's going to come across that way. It's got to be incredibly demoralising.
Oh yeah, no. If I'm on track, like it's the worst thing to just have a wall that is literally a wall, and there is nothing you can do to get past it. But with that strong free wall, it gives the opportunity that // was very strictly on offence for that entire jam, which just gives them opportunity to keep doing their laps with their jammer having that bit of support to just get straight on through and waste no time.
Absolutely, and that was a 24-point jam unanswered.
Wow.
27-point jam, my mistake, takes up to 88 points for SWAT. Moving into another jam, we've got LC Emasculator up against Ginger Witch. As I was saying, Sevens, short format games, 21-minute games, running to a hard clock generally. So that means what it means. If we are mid-jam when it hits that 21 minutes, that's it.
Yeah.
There are some variations. So if this ends in the middle of a jam and nobody's called it, that'll be why. We're currently on about 4.5 minutes remaining. So we're coming towards the end. Both jammers currently out though. Points being scored for Elsie. However, Ginger Witch, I do believe, has just completed their initial pass and denied any points.
See, it's a really interesting tactic that SWAT are using, but literally they're letting each skater have one jam and they're all taking it in turn. All 7 of them are having a jam, but it helps keep the jammers fresh. It's helping to avoid exhaustion that maybe Bath are noticing now with just their 2 jammers not getting much of a break. I mean, I don't want to speak for someone else, but I would be tired if it was me.
Yeah, I mean, I literally cannot speak for it because I have never... I've passed like 3 minimum skills. This is not a realm that I can attest to. But if nothing else, the score is speaking for us. But
in that early stage, apart from...
Beautiful. I'm sorry to cut you off there. That was really nice.
No, please do. That was beautiful. So that was a beautiful hop by Limp Bizkit there to pick up the 4 points for Bath. So it seems like SWAT are just letting this run to try and empty their penalty box out a bit.
Again, so close, but I feel like this is something we're probably going to see from SWAT again.
Yeah.
It's a really great awareness and great control.
Yeah, absolutely.
SWAT are a team that I haven't seen for a number of years, partly because I move around and they're not particularly local to me. But yeah, it's great to see that they've got that awareness, and I'd be really interested to see how that plays out for them in a full-length game.
Oh, both jammers sprinting through on the inside line. It is Ginger Witch who takes lead, but Jesbian, with some offensive jamming, shuts them down, forcing the call off.
She's got to be proud of that.
Absolutely.
That was nice.
I mean, if you don't get lead, I feel like that's everything that you'd want.
Yeah. And that was almost sort of superhero-esque because she threw the hit, she took down Ginger Witch, and then she did a really nice hockey slide stop.
Yeah.
And sort of looked at Ginger Witch on their knees on the floor, calling the jam.
As if to be like, what are you gonna do?
Denied! Yes, I basically create a backstory for every scenario in my brain.
I feel like you said it was a superhero thing. I feel like this is like the start of an origin story for a villain. Yeah,
for like their feud.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that was a brilliant hit from Bolt onto Bart's jammer. Absolutely rocked Limp Bizkit there and has recycled them all the way back round past turn 3. I was like, where are we on the track?
A turn. So Limp Bizkit has got Star in hand. So they're either looking for the stash or the pass, forcing their pivot to go back with them to allow them the opportunity to make those decisions. But we have got a power jam.
Just had to remember that I'm on the feed and not to get really excited and kind of scream into the mic.
No, please don't do that.
No, I didn't want to do that to either of us, or you watching watching this back, folks. I don't want to do that to you. Yeah, saw Bath's jammer. SWAT's jammer. I've got myself all excited. Babs,
no, it's all right,
come and skate past us, and I was like, power jam.
Did you see what the penalty was for?
I
did not. I was distracted by the Bath jammer, and I apologise for that.
Yes, I was fully focused on the stash/pass, which has now been completed.
To Staffordshire.
So this is going to be a full 2-minute jam, of which we are into seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
So we are potentially looking at this stopping maybe soon.
Staffordshire looking to do some offence to shut down Babs, but Babs narrowly avoiding the hit on the inside line. But that is 3 points picked up by Bath.
And there you go, folks. That is the hard clock jam ending as we had hit that 21-minute marker. We will wait for the points to be added to the board. And I do believe, just wait for our skating officials to speak with our non-skating officials. And we'll confirm that final score for you of this first game of the day.
And shout out to the officials today who are doing an absolutely stellar job managing to keep track of everything going on track.
So, I mean, Sevens has been around for a number of years, but it kind of had a big explosion when it first came out in, I believe, 2014.
Yeah.
And there was a number of events in quite a short space of time, and then it kind of trailed off a little while. Obviously, we've had the pandemic, but we've had nothing at all for like 2 years.
Yeah.
But it seems that a lot of teams have adopted sort of variations of the Sevens format as an opportunity to get games and track time for lots of people in a sort of a smaller space, which is great. So it's possible that a lot of officials haven't officiated Sevens or the variations thereof. So yeah, massive props to officials who may well be officiating Sevens for the first time. So yeah, those official final scores for you folks: 22 points to Bath Roller Derby, but your winners of this first game with 105 SWAT.
So we are about to see SRT, so that's Severn Rolling Thunder?
Severn Roller Torrent.
Roller Torrent, sorry, my bad.
Our wonderful hosts.
And they are going to be, in the next game, going up against Milton Keynes Roller Derby. Is that the Concrete Cows?
Concrete Cows, my home league, my original league rather. Started with them nearly 12 years ago. It's going back a bit.
It's fine, you don't look a day over 13.
Thanks, that's not troubling at all. So folks, we are going to take a brief intermission and we will come back to you probably a couple of minutes before the game to have a chat and see how things are going. Thank you for joining us for this first game, and we will see you shortly.